YouTube world, and today we just got a video. I'm here with my brother.
Hi guys.
And we're just having a quick chat and an inventory of our May stack. So little bits and pieces we got over May. Do a quick inventory before we parcel it off to a safe. And what do you think of this stack?
Yeah, it's not too bad. And I'm pretty pleased that you got some stuff that normally costs more money.
Yeah.
Like the pant bar in the top left. You can barely see on the screen.
Yeah, it's only 1 ounce silver.
Yeah, it's 1 ounce because when you buy the small 1 ounce ones, you tend to pay a premium on them. It's lovely to get them and just pay a really good price.
It was about £12, £13 paid for that. Considering, I mean, most of the bullion sites in the UK, the spot price is about £11.
Yeah. And
some of them are charging up to £27. I mean, that includes, that's after VAT, but £27, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, we're generally bullion guys, aren't we?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rough bullion.
I like rough bullion, any scratched up piece of metal that someone doesn't want, that's fine, I'll take it.
Again, our dealer, he deals with jewellery, pure jewellery, and he does get, this is what he gets in all the time. Yeah. And he deals with 9 carat, 18 carat stuff.
Stuff that needs to be refined.
That's it. So when he gets sort of pure stuff, and you always give us a call, you know, come down, I've got your few kilo bars, I've got an ounce of gold here, and he'll give us a call, and they're very close to spot. So if you guys sort of have a jeweller's, maybe you could, in the UK, you could sort of pop in and see if they have anything there. In the US, I think
it's got coin shops. They've got coin shops.
That's right.
It's very good at coin shows and loads of stuff like that. Over here, we don't have it so much. In London, there's a few precious metal dealers. Yeah. Mostly jewellery places that we have. If you can get hold of a dealer, or a shop that you know can get hold of you, they can give you brilliant deals. Yeah. You save a lot of money, especially in places. A lot of Europe, the taxes are horrific. Yeah. That we have to pay. Not so much in the US.
Mm. I think most of the coin shops, like in central London, are numismatic. Yeah. Numismatic stuff, collector's pieces.
Mm. Some nice ones, but
it's very nice.
Not for me, really.
Yeah, they're actually really, really high premiums. Yeah. You know, we've got, if you look in the background, guys, you can see the PCGS, the sort of slabbed PCGS coins. And we've got a few of those. I picked them up this month, and again, our dealer was £15. Again, in the US, that might sound quite expensive. Around there.
Just around this area.
It might sound a bit expensive, £15 if you're in the US, but over here in the UK, you guys, if you're in the UK, you know, £15 is quite good. I mean, they're MS69, I think.
Yep, there's about 4 of them, isn't there?
A D-cam, which I think is deep cameo. It's like a mirror finish. Yeah. So I mean, that was a really good price. We're actually just having a banter about the election and the emergency budget.
Yeah, just what I want to talk about. The thing is, with stuff like this, most of the people that are watching this video are watching it because they want to invest in silver to look after themselves. Yeah. The truth is, guys, it doesn't matter what these are, deep cameo or whatever flashy stars they are. Yeah. If you're investing in it for the purpose of holding on to your wealth or even making some in the future, it really won't matter. They'll throw it on a scale at the end of the day, gold or silver, and its weight will determine what they give you for it. They couldn't care less because they'll throw it into a kiln.
That's it. They'll scratch a line right across the middle of the deep cameo and pour acid in it just to see if it's real.
Yeah. So don't. If you're doing it for numismatic purposes, that's fine. Yeah. But if you're doing it as an investment,
I've seen quite a few comments, sort of Numi bashers, I'll call them. Yeah. Who sort of attack the guys who collect numismatic pieces. I don't think so at all. I think it's your money. Yeah. You know, and if you're investing in a precious metal or something that's a hard asset, you know, it's to me it's no different than art.
Some people enjoy it. So
it's collecting art.
Yeah, go ahead and enjoy it. At least you're investing in something quite good while you're enjoying it.
That's it.
No harm. Me personally, just give me the gnarly bullion. Yeah. Really, that's fine for me. Yeah. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, any of it will be just fine.
When and if comes time to sell, if we don't hand them down to the kids, they'll just be sold and put in a kiln. Yeah, you know, because it's
probably turn into good delivery bars somewhere.
That's right.
And put it on the markets.
I mean, the idea really is assets, guys. If you can get property right now, I mean, we're in the process of our family anyway selling a property in East London, which was bought in 1997?
1997.
97. I mean, it was 80,000 at the time. 80,000
which was considered shocking.
It was shocking, considering the area as well. Yeah, the area it was working class. Let's just put it that way. And it was a house, a 4-bedroom house, and it's now been valued at just under 800,000.
Just under 800,000.
So we're definitely going to try and take advantage of that situation because again in the UK we haven't really had a real crash in properties since way back when.
I think that should be an alarm to everybody. To be honest with you, you buy a house that's 80,000. and you sell it a few years later, 800,000. Something's very wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good few years. It is a
good few years, but 800,000.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the same as the stock market, guys. Working in the stock market, there are jitters everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't believe what you read on CNN. If you actually go on the trading floor, there's nerves everywhere. I mean, the tension in the world, from the Chinese warplanes buzzing American warships, to Greece not knowing if they're going to be able to pay back the money, which they can't. They just won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
We've got the emergency budget in the UK
on Monday.
No one really knows what is going to come out of that. I expect the poorer people will be affected more.
I expect so. I think everybody should try and get hold of certain assets, non-monetary assets, even people that have got very little money. Do you know what I mean? Just to put down, even if it's just for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Just to keep it there, because if you have paper money, if you're anything like me anyway, it will just disappear.
Yeah.
So grab hold of stuff and get hold of cheap stuff. If you can buy silver and gold, there's a lot of guys that newly get involved in silver and gold or just got to know what it's about, and they'll rush out just so they can have it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to quickly go out and buy a monster box.
Yeah.
And put it on my credit card. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. Take your time. Gradually pick up and buy as much silver and gold for your paper money as is possible.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be doing.
This is it.
And you also want to diversify. So within your budget, if you don't have a lot of money, things like silver are great.
Yeah.
Because they're really cheap.
Yeah.
But if you have more money, invest across the board in solid assets.
Gold, silver, I mean, other precious metals.
Platinum, palladium. My goodness, if you can buy properties, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. If you can get involved in properties.
If you can get involved in anything like that, do it.
Even the idea of sort of selling a property and trading it in, or selling it, and the idea of what we're hoping to do is sort of sell that property and then buy 3 other properties just outside of London.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's better to own 3 properties than 1.
Yeah.
So, but it was a nice chat, guys. We're going to be watching the Champions League. But we're just having a banter as well about our banking sort of background, weren't we?
Yeah.
Sort of just talking about what we did.
I think people probably want to know is what is our proper background. I mean, I'd be interested to know when I watch people. I like to know what their background is.
I'm nosy, see.
Yeah.
I'm very nosy. I love people's videos and learn about what they do. I started off working as a underground vault cashier. It was a part of the Bank of England, but it was actually for HSBC.
I work with you.
And my brother worked with me, and it was basically underground. It was a cave.
Yeah.
It was an absolute cave. It was dark. There was no windows, obviously, because underground. It was quite deep underground.
Dingy.
And what we did was, in my department, we counted cash, notes.
Yeah.
Absolute. We had basically trolleys full of banknotes, millions and millions of pounds of banknotes. And it was just counting every day. Every day you had to count something like, I think, 4 or 5 million.
The only outside life you would see coming through is the armed police officers bringing in.
That's right.
Big vats of paper cash.
Yeah, you'd be counting them for. I moved into when I was counting for sort of Tesco, and you can't believe what a Tesco store makes weekly. You can't believe it's phenomenal. They're literally bags and bags of money every week. They were just sort of raking it in, and then when you go out, you get searched by the police, which is nice.
Yeah, but it was a good.
It was great. It was a nice start. Yeah. And then after that, I worked for a company in Canary Wharf called E-Trade, and that was it was a few years back, but I think they've been bought by TD Water. They're called TD Waterhouse now, I think, which is TD Ameritrade in America. But that was real basic junior stuff. I just wanted to get into banking, so it was the first sort of thing. I was working more sort of back office, dealing with sort of W8 BEM forms, which is like a form if you want to trade US shares, US equities. So that was what I was doing before then moving on to a bit of currency and then more of the equity side. Similar with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very similar. I started off in the same bank, counting cash. Boring and tedious job, but it gets your foot in the door to work in banking. And spent most of my time doing foreign exchange, which was fun actually. A very strange market. You can make a lot of money.
Well, it was rigged by you lot.
No, I tell you
LIBOR
what,
scandals.
The LIBOR in 2008.
Yeah.
When I was working on the trading floor, I was sat next to the head of Treasury, and he was sitting there at the screen saying, "I don't believe they're being so flagrant here and adjusting these prices as if it's normality, as if it's something legal."
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. You see, it is legal. I know a lot of people.
It's not moral.
It's not right. A lot of people, they call it banker bashing, and they say, these greedy bankers, and they picture this, Winston Churchill looking fella with his bowler hat and cane, sort of striking a peasant in the corner.
It's nothing like that.
For not cleaning his shoes properly. And honestly, guys, the majority are working class. At 29 years old, I'm a veteran. I'm an old man. These guys are 22 years old. Some of them fresh out of university, and a lot of them working class. I mean, the first place I worked, it was sort of 12 traders on a desk, and 2 were what you'd call posh. I'm doing the air inverted commas hands. These guys, I think one went to Harrow, which is sort of quite a classy school. But the rest of them, one was a bouncer, one was a window cleaner. They're real working class guys with what we say in England, the gift of the gab.
Yeah,
they could sell a dog a bark, as I said. There's nothing they couldn't do. They're really good at selling things. The idea of sort of maybe we had deals where the bread and butter work would be a retired person in England moving to Spain, and they'd want to buy a house and they'd need to transfer their $250,000 to Spain to get their property, and we'd actually take that middle bit. So the banks would charge a lot more, obviously, but we would charge less than the bank, but still a great deal. And the idea for the trader was to take the maximum he could get, as close to that bank fee, but just lower.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you go there, you sort of think, got my parents, and you think, they worked so hard for their money, but that's the way finance is.
It's a very different world. If you come from what most people are used to and go into central London, it will be a shock to your system.
Yeah.
Because customers are just seen as money.
Yeah.
It's like a cash cow.
Yeah.
And you just take their money and you go ahead and make yours from it. But I think, again, being young as well, when I first went on the trading floor, seeing Lamborghinis. I drove a Lamborghini, which was not mine, obviously. But to see that, just wealth.
And young guys are so young.
And it's actually coming out of normal people's pockets.
It is.
And the worst part is, the banks have been bailed out by the government.
Yeah.
It's you guys who are paying for those Lamborghinis. You're paying for those flash cars. And that is fact.
I think it's interesting. You look at the emergency budget on Monday, and I'm pretty sure that the most punished people will be those who don't earn a lot of money or those who need benefits. I'm all for not giving benefits to people who are just sitting about doing nothing. But for those who need it, they will be hit hard, I'm pretty sure, on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of the people getting benefits in this country are actually working as well.
That's true.
That's not really mentioned too often, but most people that are actually on benefits, they're actually working as well. It's just that their pay is so low, it has to be subsidised somehow. For them just to be able to get by.
In England, they I think they call it poverty porn, but they have these sort of TV programs
I saw one the other
benefits, people on benefits, Benefit Street and things like that.
Yeah.
And have these sort of filming these sort of people who don't have much and sort of portraying them to be, less sort of subhuman, I suppose.
I think it's a good way of distracting people from the facts.
Because I haven't seen a documentary called Greedy Sir Fred Goodwin. I'd love to see
Greedy Bankers.
Because, when we were working in 2008 during the collapse, he helmed that bank to absolute destruction. And, he's on a $600,000 a year, pension today, which is taxpayer funded, but no, that's certainly not mentioned.
Well, the majority of people will be so busy thinking that lazy whatever, sitting down, taking my money and buying Christmas presents.
Yeah, for their
with
children.
My hard-earned tax money. I work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I tell you now, the bankers have taken more than all the benefits people.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, the benefit system needs to be massively tightened up. You can't take benefits from the UK and move over to another country and still be claiming the benefits. It doesn't make any sense.
That's it.
But
it's certainly not a fair society, guys.
Yeah,
it's
certainly not a fair society. But then you have to remember...
It's a 2-tier system. It's becoming a 2-tier system.
The media is owned by the banking system. Everything's owned by the banking system. So it's like me making a bad advert for myself. I wouldn't do it. I just make a good one.
To say personally, the people you work with are not... they're really nice people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not breaking the law. This is what I think needs to be done, is this whole system needs revising and, complete overhaul of the system, because... what the bankers are doing to get these bonuses, it's not illegal. It is legal.
What's your opinion on what you think is going to happen in this market, in this right now. What do you think is going to happen from now?
Yeah, from now
with the money, do you think it's going to keep going up? Do you think it's going to?
I mean, they're gonna do whatever they can to keep pushing up. House prices through the roof. The US stock market it's never. I mean, think about it, guys. Since 2008, what great news, what real bullish news have we got since 2008? Why the stock market's gone so high? We've got unemployment. We've got more people in poverty. We've got ISIS.
A huge debt.
We've got a massive debt. We've got Greece going broke. We've got the EU, sort of doesn't know what it's doing. England, we don't know whether we're going or we're staying. No one knows. Scotland wants to be a part. There's nuclear deals with Iran. ISIS.
Russia and China.
There's Russia and China building up their
having
wealth.
little niggles with America. Why is the stock market rising?
Chinese warplanes are buzzing. US warships. Ukraine is still going on. But the stock market is bullish, and there's no stopping it. Before, even probably back in the 90s, it was bearish markets. Things happened, and it was bearish. A friend of mine
who works for one of the biggest French investment bank said, when I asked him the other day what he thinks of the stock market, and he said, it's like you're running along, going for a jog, and your heart starts to beat quite quickly. So you stop, you sit down, and when you sit down, your heart starts to race faster and faster and faster, and it's getting faster even though you're not doing anything. Yeah. So it's like that. It's like there's something wrong. If that happened to your body, you would be alarmed. The same thing's happening with the stock market. I mean, he currently works for probably the biggest investment bank in France.
Yeah.
And he's one of the guys that I first started talking about precious metals, and you've got to start hanging on to hard assets.
Got us involved in it, really.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It was him who really got us involved.
Yeah.
He actually had was it Silver Eagle?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, have a look at this. This is where you need to be. Because, over the years, guys, I've traded constant gold ETFs, silver ETFs.
Yeah.
You just don't think about it. It definitely doesn't exist. These are just paper, digital currency. They don't exist. We trade them over and over again. But I never advise you to hold gold or silver. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. If things do get rough and people start demanding their silver, the banks will simply give them the cash for it. And if the currency is not really worth what it should be worth, or it's really fallen down in its buying power,
like you just said, the banks will have to give the people the cash for it. Where do they get the cash from?
Well, they'll just
print it. It's got to come from somewhere. They'll have to print it, but inevitably the taxpayer's going to end up paying for that as well. This
is it. So it's basically, this is quite a depressing video, isn't it? It's really depressing. Sorry, guys, if we're depressed. We're actually waiting to watch the Champions League after this, so we do actually enjoy life, as well as being depressed about the economy. But
it's just important, people, guys. You need to really get yourself stuff that you can hang on to, and working inside the banking system, we can see it more than anybody else.
Yeah,
how dangerous it actually is. It's so dangerous you wouldn't believe it. In 2008, when it nearly completely collapsed.
Well, I think it died in 2008.
Yeah, some people think it did die in 2008.
It's a zombie we've got now.
This is currently a zombie waiting to just fall down. But basically, even Hank Paulson said all we've done is temporarily patched it up.
Yeah, Hank Paulson, you guys, if you don't know, I'm sure most of you do know, but he was the Federal Reserve chairman. No, he was a Treasury Secretary, I think.
Yeah,
U.S. Treasury Secretary, I believe. Yeah, he was a Treasury Secretary at the time.
Yeah,
and Ben Bernanke was the Federal Reserve Director or whatever it is.
Yeah, so I do think that it's going to come to an end at some point in not too distant future.
Yeah.
So it's just good that all you guys out there that are hanging on to things like precious metals and stuff like that, that is going to be something good for you. You will do very well for yourself. Yeah. So keep doing it, guys.
Yeah, and thanks for watching, guys. What I'd love to hear is you guys' comments. What do you guys think? Do you think it's getting rough? Do you think you've seen a worse economy or a better economy? How personally are you finding it?
Why do you think the stock market's rising?
Yeah, what reason do you guys think the stock market's rising? Properties where you are, are the prices, do you think they're fair or unfair? And just generally, what you guys think is going on in the world. And again, guys, remember, the stack you see, it's quite a sizable stack. It's not that every month. Some months, we only have 2 coins, or something like that, really small. It doesn't, just pick up what you can pick up. If you can get a 10th ounce silver coin, get it. Yeah. Because it's better than the money you buy it with. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.
Okay, see you later, guys.
Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.